What's going on, my PT peeps, my Walking Dead family, and my fighters? I'm One Eyebrow, also known as PT. You don't know if I'm winking or I'm blinking, but I'm definitely thinking about The Walking Dead and the potential spoilers for The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 13, Michonne's last episode. Spoiler warning, obviously, for all things Walking Dead. And this is the Q&A from the Spoiling Dead fans. So shout out, props, credit to them for sure. And I just love the poster behind Virgil. Help stop the spread. But before we get to it, guys, help us achieve our goal of 100,000 subscribers. It really means a lot to us to achieve that goal, and we're getting super close to it. So we need your help in achieving that goal. Hit the join button to become a valued member of our PT channel Walking Dead family, and ring the bell to be notified when we post videos every day. And here's the Q&A. Did Virgil lie to Michonne? Are there actually weapons on the island? Yes, no. There aren't weapons on the island. He brought her there to have her put his walkified family out of their misery. He says that there have never been many rippers where he is, so he's never really gotten good at what it is that Michonne does. That's taking out walkers in a badass way. But it sounds like he actually lied, so it's yes and yes. Who are the others that Virgil refers to? What has happened on the island? They are Virgil's ex-colleagues. They say that they were taking in stray people once, and it got crazy with food, supplies running low, and everything. So a fight broke out and some newbie died. Virgil decided to lock all the doors after this, not knowing that his wife and children were inside. The others say that Virgil also locked them up after that. Who set the boat on fire? Virgil. Why do we hear Michonne scream, "What did you do?" She thinks Virgil must have done something to Rick to set a trap for him, but apparently he didn't know anything about him, just that some boat with some of his stuff in it washed ashore after a storm. So I really want to know what's up with that. Why did Rick's stuff end up there? Did he try to escape and he got recaptured? I hope it makes sense. I hope we find out very, very soon. Sooner rather than later, but I'm sure it's going to be later. But it's something to look forward to. So Michonne, Virgil, they're on Virgil's island. And I have to say, during the trailer and the sneak peek, Virgil's kind of calm. Virgil's talking about things and you see that it's complicated here, and Virgil definitely lied to Michonne, and I don't like this guy. You can see the sneak peek clip that I posted earlier today. I made it before the spoilers came out, so you know some of the information we know now. But Virgil setting the boat on fire, and he just looks kind of crazy now, especially what we know. But the fact that Michonne went alone doesn't make sense. That's the boat that's on fire, and the fact that Virgil is somewhat connected with Rick, I like that because Michonne is going to be connected with Rick still. She's going after him. I don't know if there's going to be a mini-series or a spin-off or if it'll connect in the movies, the Rick Grimes movies. Why is Michonne locked in a room? How does she get out? Virgil locks her in there. It turns out he actually wanted to set the others free but feared they would kill him. So he was going to try to break it to Michonne gently to have her there to protect him when he releases them. When Michonne goes out by herself in the middle of the night, she finds them first. That's why Virgil locks her in too. She actually stabs him in the leg. Then she runs outside. Virgil gets away too at first. They catch him soon after. Andrea appears in the opening minutes. Do we see any other previous characters? Yes, lots. Everyone from 6x16 specifically. Can you explain the hallucinations that Michonne has? She has the hallucinations after drinking a tea given to her by Virgil. The hallucinations are the story of what would have happened to Michonne if she hadn't helped Andrea and met Negan instead, becoming a savior. There are scenes into which she added digitally, being on the other side of this time. The Lucille scene is Negan asking her to do what he did in 6x16. Her being his right-hand woman, she's actually pointing Lucille at herself and swinging it at herself. There's also one from when they passed a hitchhiker without helping him, the orange backpack guy, but this time Michonne is the hitchhiker begging for help and Daryl is the one ignoring her. Later on, during a chase in the woods, she's shot in the chest by Daryl with an arrow and shot in the face by Rick with the pistol. Do we see anything with the other communities? No. So does Virgil give her the tea as like something to drink? Or does he force her to drink it? Or what? Like, he's like, here, drink this tea. And it's got stuff in it, hallucinogenic properties. But I don't know. I guess the whole thing was like, how can we wrap up her story from start to end? Where she was, to where she is, to where she's going, connected with Andrea, the lineup. I don't know how I feel about her taking the bat, taking Lucille and swinging at herself. It probably sounds great on paper. Like the writers are like, you know what we're going to do? She's going to be Negan and she's going to swing her bat at herself. I think it's going to be great and the people are going to love it. And we're like, it's kind of cheesy. Like, okay, this isn't happening. It's a what if scenario, an alternate universe type of thing. And so Negan never gets Lucille back, or the real Lucille. And I like the idea with the orange backpack. You know, I'm a big fan of the orange backpack theories that we came up with and we started. It's kind of interesting that Daryl takes her out and Rick takes her out too. You're like, oh man, it's kind of crazy. But I just don't like the idea of the what if scenario. I think she deserved better. We'll see how it happens on television, but it just sounds, ugh. What ends up happening to Virgil? Does he live? Yes. Michonne gets the others to spare him, and they are willing to let him leave with them. He chooses to stay back because he promised his wife flowers every day. Oh, that's great. So you're going to let the guy that was going to kill you or hurt you and locked you up to still live. That makes sense. Can you describe the scene where Michonne discovers Rick might still be alive? After they decide to spare Virgil, Michonne asks him to take her to her stuff. Michonne sees the boots first on a shelf. She puts them up against her nose and cries. She pins Virgil against the wall and questions him on where he got the boots. They go to his military-looking boat that has washed ashore during a storm. Michonne starts looking at the stuff on a table and she finds an iPhone with a drawing of her and Judith on its screen, with the word Rick on the top right corner. She questions Virgil again to no avail. He tells her that their meeting may not have been accidental, that he can get the boat running again with help from the others, and maybe she can find this person again. How does Michonne plan on finding Rick? Does she find any clues about where he is? Yes, there is a location marked on the ship's logbook, which I can't remember right now. Unfortunately, she tells Judith she's going to head north. Does anyone else besides Judith learn about Rick possibly being alive? No. What are Michonne's last words to Judith? She tells her that she will call her on the radio as long as it's possible, and that she loves her and RJ so much, and Judith will listen to Uncle Daryl. And I'm not a big fan of Virgil being kept alive for misleading, for kidnapping, for doing whatever he's doing. He's not a good guy. There's an iPhone right there, so I guess they are in the zombie apocalypse. You can see Beta has his iPhone in his coat pocket. Come on now, what you doing? Here's the boots. We're gonna see them. And maybe Rick was trying to escape. Pretty interesting, right? I think it's interesting that Rick and Michonne could be reunited. I just love this picture. This is way back in season 8 or so. It was just funny. Just look at him. It's like, whoop-ah! And it looks like Michonne is on a boat, on a naval ship, a naval cruiser at some point, and she's going to find Rick. Again, I would love a little mini series, a couple episodes of Michonne's journey to go find Rick, and then we see her find Rick in the second or third movie, or so maybe first movie at the end of it, but maybe the second or third movie would be pretty cool, and I can't wait to see Judith and RJ and Michonne talking on the radio. Does Michonne talk to RJ or anyone else? Only Judith and RJ. Her conversation with RJ is adorable. He has his own call sign, Little Brave Man. He actually has quite a few lines here. How does the episode end? Michonne gets herself 2 new pet walkers. While traveling, she comes across a man and a woman who ask her for help, I'm guessing, saying, they'll leave without us. When Michonne says, who, they point towards the horizon and we see a large army-like group moving in formation. At this point, she remembers Carl and Rick trying to decide whether to help her or not. She kills the 2 pet walkers and offers the 2 help. So who is the army-like group? Is it CRM? We don't know, but I can't wait to find out. The episode sounds lackluster. It just sounds, I hope it's better than it sounds. Hope there's better moments with RJ and Judith on the radio talking to Michonne and Michonne's final goodbye. But it just feels like, what? What are they doing? Couldn't Michonne go home and then go after Rick? But I guess she's going to find Rick and she's going north. These are the pet walkers. This is the 3rd time that she did it. Originally we saw her with her boyfriend and her friend, and we saw it again in season 4, I believe, after they lost the prison. So she loves the walker pets, and it's kind of her trademark. This is her at the prison when she was out with the baby formula, and Carl and Rick decided to help her and let her in season 3. So we're gonna see some callbacks, and it's pretty cool. Talking Dead looks to be happening, guys, and it looks to be these 2 and a surprise cast member. So it just makes sense that it's Michonne. I guess it could be Virgil, but I would rather it be Michonne, of course, but Yvette Nicole Brown and Scott Gimple. But what do you think, guys? This is just the spoilers, the potential spoilers on paper. I really hope it's better on television. It's Michonne's last episode, and it should be awesome. I don't know if it's going to be or not, but I'm going to watch. And to be honest, it's other people that are saying it's Michonne's last episode, not AMC or anything. Before, it said Rick's last episode, so we knew it was. But I think it is Michonne's. We'll have to wait and see. Let me know your thoughts. Post your comments below. And for those interested in my Zombie Apocalypse book series, there it is. If you see all my videos, you know about it. Hopefully you'll join the fight and pick up your copy today and support it as the book series sales come back to the book series as well as the BT channel. Thank you guys for watching, and tell them Daryl.
Yo, we love you guys. Honestly, thank you.